Right?
All right, well, get a little deeper into spring practice here. How's it going?
It's pretty good so far. I mean, we've had some guys that come back, but at the same time, we've got a bunch of new guys. So kind of going back to ground one with fundamentals and technique. And, as we do have a bunch of guys in year 2, year 3, there's also a bunch of group of guys that are coming back or they're here for the first time. So starting from the day 1 install, day 2, day 3, assuming nothing, but it's gone pretty good. Today was a little bit of energy-wise, was a little down, I thought. We kind of picked it up in team as an offense, but for the most part, we're getting back.
Oh, your quarterback's looking, he let him split.
I think they're looking really good. I like both of them. I mean, Drew and Reese and the best thing about them is they love football. I know Reese is new, but he's spent a lot of time in the office watching film. Nobody loves football more than that guy. The same thing with Drew. Teammates love him. Seems like they're getting along too, and they're both doing a really good job being leaders.
How has Reese settled in since we got the?
I think it seems like he's been here for 3 years. He's kind of made it a point to be around the guys and kind of gain relationships with those guys. And everybody feels like he's been here a long time. I mean, he has guys over at his house. He's up in the film room every single day. I mean, I don't know if he ever goes home, but I think he's doing a really good job and getting to know his teammates. And obviously the football stuff's going on so far.
How are the receivers look as you get deeper in the swing?
Okay, it's been up and down. I think we've seen some really high moments. Today was a little bit sluggish, I thought, to start, and I thought we picked it up in team. The new guys, Cam Dorner has flashed. I wish he was a little bit more consistent right now, but that'll kind of get going as he starts getting more comfortable with the system. Landon Sides, it's good to have him back healthy, and he's really been a stud so far. I got him playing outside receiver right now. Wyatt Young on year 2 looks like a different football player, a little bit more confident. Miles, he got banged up a little bit today. He should be fine. Kind of held him out just to be safe, but he's been a stud so far. He's done a really, really good job making plays in these first few practices. Simeon Evans, new guy, Sam Houston State. He's done a really good job. He's just a football player, and he's still developing, even though he has 1 year left. He was a quarterback in high school, so, you can see him get better with each practice and the more comfortability he has with the system. So he made some plays today. I was fired up about that.
In the last 2 years, you've lost your top receiver both times. Did you feel like there's a higher expectation for someone to fill that top receiver void and make all the stuff they have in the past 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's next guy up mentality. I feel like we got that same talent right now. There was J Mac and DT Sheffield. I feel like we got guys right now that can make those football plays. I mean, Landon Sides, Wyatt Young, Miles. Hopefully Cam comes along. He's got the talent to do it. Simeon Evans is a big play guy. So I think by committee we're going to be really good this year.
Coach, speaking on the quarterback race, Coach Morris kind of mentioned, regardless of the starters, the offense kind of be tailored around their strengths. In your perspective, what are the biggest differences between Drew and these strengths of the passer?
I think they're both really, really good passers. And they're kind of more similar than you think. Drew's a little bit bigger of a guy, but they both do a pretty good job of creating when things break down. And I think they're both pure passers. It's really hard to put your finger on something totally different between the two. I think they're both very similar in their own ways. Yeah, I can't tell you that right now. So, absolutely. I had the same question for the running back thing as well. Just who kind of stood out to you in this early part of the process? Still early. I thought Jaden has really flashed. It's somebody that, we didn't have before. A guy who could take it the distance at any time. He can really, really run. And you kind of just love his attitude so far. I mean, he's hustling every single drill, whether it's special teams, running the football. He's just been a great dude so far. So I'm fired up about him.
And what are kind of expectations for the scrimmage coming up this weekend as well?
It really is. For coaches is not try and confuse them, let them go out there and play. It's going to be the first time where we're not out in the field, kind of coaching them up in between plays and stuff like that. So seeing if they can operate how we operate, especially the new guys who've never done it, in a game-like situation. So see if we can go out there and operate and cut it loose and playmakers be playmakers.
I think changed out so many of those playmakers before. Are you confident in just having the new set of guys who are able to power this offense?
100%, because I think we have a good mixture of guys that have come back. With new guys, and I think those guys that have been here have kind of pulled them along, and there's no doubt in my mind. I think we're going to be more talented, and we just got to be more consistent than we've been so far in spring. But I think we're going to be just as talented as a whole.
Landon Sides has been here for one of the longest times out of most of these guys on this team. Do you know he's taken over a leadership role on this team, especially offense?
100%. I've been super proud of him. He's taking care of his body. Moved him late last year to outside receiver. He really kind of came into his own there, but he's a guy who everybody really respects. He does everything right. I'm fired up for him. It's been the biggest difference from just staying healthy, knock on wood, but he's definitely a leader in our ring. You guys look up to him, and no question about that.
You guys have changed out quarterbacks, consistently every year.
Right.
How have you guys been able to do that so effectively over the course of the years?
I think Coach Brophy, for one, does a really good job with those guys, getting them in here and getting them, caught up with everything. But it just takes reps, kind of like I was saying, not assuming anybody knows anything. We got new guys. We got to start from ground level. And once we know the base offense in this, it's our job to mix it up. But we're going to do what we do. It's going to look different to the defense, but as long as they have those first day 1 through day 3 and they feel comfortable with them, they can execute, and we'll start adding on from there. But it really starts from the ground floor.
Miles Coleman kind of stepped up later in the year last year when you guys really needed him the most. How do you feel like he's kind of improved a little bit more since, those last few games of the season?
I think, and I could have played him earlier last year, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing from going from the freshman year is just the confidence level. I mean, he's kind of walking around different, right? He feels himself as far as getting better, and everybody kind of respects him, knows that he's the dude right now. Just got to make sure he stays healthy. But I think the confidence level with him is the biggest thing. So obviously, it's just understood being a true freshman like that.
It's had some success with some smaller receivers.
Yeah.
Why has that been so effective for you? Get guys like Miles up at the end, and then
I think kind of just how our offense is with putting those guys in space, whether it's intermediate routes, option type routes. And, first of all, you got to play the small guys and you got to believe they can do it. I think just with our offense, the way we throw the football and spread it around, and really good route runners are really good players in this offense. And I think a lot of times those guys are some of the best route runners.
Coach, a big talking point from coaches and players like this spring camp has been that you guys are turning into the number 1 national offense team in the country. Like, do you imagine any differences in the offensive philosophies heading into this next season, or just kind of restating all the same ideas, right?
No, it's just speaking the same message: fast, physical, and fearless. Coach Morris talks about it all the time, and the offense is going to look a little different every single year. I know our base plays and what we do is going to look similar, but just depending on the guys, the trigger man at quarterback, the running back, it may look a little bit different. But I'm not sure what that identity is quite yet. That's what we got to try and figure out this spring.
I wanted to ask your early impressions of getting to compete against Coach Cassidy's your defense this year so far.
It's awesome. I've known Coach Cassidy since I was a GA at Texas Tech. It's good to see some 4-down defenses and what he's doing. Plays a lot of quarter stuff, but he mixes it up really well. I mean, you really can never tell what he's doing. You got the other guys flying around. It's good for us, for having us, making us play rules ball and kind of going through our progressions and really ruling things up. But you can see he has those guys flying around and playing for him.
all right, well, you guys are getting a little bit deeper in the spring. How's the team overall, the spring perspective?
The team, huh?
Yeah, just overall. How you guys defense looking?
That's a better question.
There you go. Got it.
We're growing. Again, we know that this thing is a process, and the goal is to be better today than we were yesterday, and the goal Saturday will be to be better than we were today. So the guys are making strides. So we're pleased with where we are. Are we there yet? No, by no stretch of the imagination. So, but again, the guys are excited, and they're working their butts off right now.
You get some experience in linebacker with some of these guys back, like with Watsby. Does that really help you start out here trying to put this defense together?
Absolutely. Anytime you have guys that play a lot of snaps and have been in the game a long time, it always helps to bring those young guys along. Again, those guys understand what Coach Morris's standards are and have been. And then you have guys that we've added to the mix that have been with Coach Cassidy and myself, and they understand what we're expecting and looking for, and they help those guys a lot of. So it's been a great mix, and it's been good so far.
Got some, you're installing the new defense is a little bit different from what these guys did last year. How did the linebackers that you have brought back fit in season?
Yeah. They fit because the bottom line for us, from a backer standpoint, man, is we have to beat blocks and make plays on the bottom. That never changes regardless of what you're doing schematically. So we have some talented guys that are athletic, they're physical. So that helps a lot. But again, football doesn't change a lot. You play, you can be a 3-down, you can be a 4-down, but for the most part, you're going to have an A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap fitter. You're going to play quarters, you're going to play cover 3, you're going to play man. So from that standpoint, there's not a real big difference. There's carryover from what some of those guys did a year ago. There's a little bit of carryover, but again, the bottom line is, man, is that football doesn't change really. The basics of it, the nuts and bolts of it, that's still the same.
And you brought one with you. Is that going to be a help to you guys to break Burrow with you from Finn?
It better be. All right? Talented kid. You know, he has all the tools to be an exceptional player. Again, but like anything else, he's got to go compete and earn it, just like Ethan. Ethan's been here. Ethan's got to earn it. Shane, he's been here. He's got to earn it. Chavez, who had a heck of a back end of last year, he still has to earn the right to be out there making the plays, making the calls, and helping this team progress to a conference title.
Is there anyone in this on your position group or as a whole on defense that's kind of stood out for you so far this spring? It's still early, but you know, you guys are headed into your first scrimmage. Do you feel like there's anybody that's kind of stood out a little bit?
I thank you for answering that question for me. It is early. They'll get their opportunity Saturday. Saturday is our first scrimmage where we'll be off the field, and we're not doing all the, you know, giving them the answers to the test. They got to go out and execute. So we'll find out who separates Saturday. Is the real opportunity we'll have to see who's making the strides we need to help us be successful.
Coach, you work with Cassidy here for a while. And we're kind of interested in him. He's a new defensive coordinator. Everybody wants to know what this guy's like. So what do you need to know about Coach Cassidy that comes in your vortex to take over? You're going to struggle a little bit.
Well, I'll say this. I always joke with Cass in that I've known him since he was probably 10 or 11 because I worked with his father. So I've known him a long time. But what you need to know is Cass is extremely, he's an extremely sharp young guy. I mean, he's detailed as anybody I've ever been around. But again, he comes from a coaching family. I mean, he's been around it his whole life. His dad has been coaching now for 47 years. And so to grow up in it and to be around it your entire life, you can't help but follow in those footsteps and tracks that his dad is laid. So I'm excited to be with him. I'm happy to be with him. He keeps me young, man. You know, so but it's been good.
What is it about him that keeps you young? Is he just an energetic guy?
Yes, he is. I think I'm probably 26 years older than Cat, 27. Hell, I'm older than you, way older than him. So yes, he does. A lot more energy than myself.
You've been able to play against this North Texas offense, and in the past few years, they've been really successful overall as an offense. How have they kind of helped you guys kind of sharpen some skills, especially with a lot of new guys or returning guys into the system?
Tell you what, man, Coach Morris, what we see on a daily basis, it's been a while since I've seen some of the offensive concepts that he gives us on a daily basis. A couple of guys that transferred in with us every day, they say, "Wow, Coach, did you see that?" I say all that to say is that what they do is it keeps you on your toes as a coach, and it's extremely challenging as a player because they're going to challenge your eyes, they're going to challenge your leverage. They're going to test a lot of aspects of your defense to make sure that you're on point and doing what you need to do.
You mentioned that Cassidy's kind of a detail-oriented coach. Yeah, I mean, he's always been successful in a couple of the clips we're getting here. Well, what is it that has made him so good for what he does?
Well, besides being in it, like I said, being a part of it his whole life, I think what also is an advantage for him is he actually was on the offensive side of football. As a graduate assistant or student assistant coach, he was on the offensive side of the ball for several years. So he understands offensive scheme. He understands schematics from that standpoint in terms of how offenses are trying to attack us and how we need to attack them. So he understands strengths and weaknesses coming from both sides of the ball as opposed to just seeing it from a defensive lens all the time. He can see it from both angles.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about those same recent transfers, just because how they kind of bring that same culture and identity to North Texas so far.
Well, those guys know and understand what the standard is from Coach Cass. They've been around and they have a year to be with them. They know what we expect. They know what we want. And so, again, that helps the guys that haven't been with us. So when we come in with Ethan and Chavez and Shane, all those guys, Trey and Samaje and those guys and Fish and Davion, they say, hey, this is what coach is looking for if there's ever any questions. So we have guys pretty much at each level from the D-line, backers, and then the back end we have guys at every level that have been with us that can relay those messages, that can relay those thoughts, those ideas to those guys, and it helps us build faster.
And you mentioned that the linebacker position is kind of same regardless of the scheme, but just what do you kind of expect, or what do you kind of imagine the defense asks the most of the linebackers in terms of that skills or attributes?
What am I looking for, or what am I asking them?
Yeah. What do you think the defense asks of its linebackers in terms of its play?
We have to communicate, probably first and foremost. Communicate. Then the next thing is since we're in the middle, we work with front and back end, right? We have to be on point with everything. We have to be fast. We have to be physical, and we have to be the core of the defense. The stronger the core, the better your defense, right? So from that aspect, I think that's the big thing we ask from those guys. One, you got to communicate. One, and two, you got to play fast. You got to be physical and get guys in the right spot. In the right spot too.
All right, Cameron, get a little bit deeper into spring practice. How's it helped you so far?
I say good for the most part. A lot of new pieces on offense. Yeah, we try to put the pieces together, learn the plays, get lined up quick as possible. And for the most part, I think we're headed in the right direction for sure. We're getting better every single day, 1% better. And definitely, like, a lot of the plays we run look better the next day that we run them. So I think it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard a lot about you since you got here. And transferred in a little bit of an unusual backstory. How's the transition then to playing in the Division I top one?
I mean, the transition's been amazing. Like, I mean, first off, being here is a blessing, and the opportunity here is amazing. I get to play with a lot of great coaches that set me up, a lot of great players, coming into a great system. And transition has been, it's been very good for me. I mean, I feel like I'm fitting right into where I should be. I should be playing at a high level. I feel like I'm making plays. I mean, obviously there's some times where, I run into some good players and they get the best of me, but, that only makes me better. And, the transition right now is going well for the most part.
So why transfer? Did you feel like you could play at a higher level? Was that kind of the reason you decided to move on?
Yeah, my thought process was I played 3 years at a very good school at D2, loved the place, and I wanted to seek out a better opportunity for myself and play at the highest level that I thought I could play at, and just hit.
What attracted you to this place? This place has actually had some success with guys moving up from schools and having success. Was that part of the thinking to come here, or what was the attraction to North Texas?
Well, to be honest, like, first off, I barely knew anything about North Texas until I learned about their coaching stats and then the players that they had previously in this offense and how they succeeded. And as far as like North Texas being like my main attraction, that's what I saw most out of it. Is just the opportunity to be under a great coaching staff who learns from the best of the best, like Mike Leach and Cliff Kingsbury, where I'd be catching passes a lot, in an air raid offense where I'll be able to succeed to the best of my ability, I thought. So that was my thinking process going forward.
North Texas has had a top 10 offense overall in the country the past few years. Do you feel like there's higher expectations, not for yourself, but for the whole team to continue that success with a little bit different of a group again?
Yeah, for sure. The expectations are the expectations. Coach Morris sets the standard for us, our offensive guys, and Coach Davis sets the standard for our wide receivers, and we want to be nothing short of them, the number one offense in the country. And I think last year we were third or fifth. Yeah, third, I believe. And nothing short of that, like, we want to be number two or number one. Like, the expectation is set for us, and us players only holds us to a higher standard to play better out there on the field.
You guys bring back, I guess, the offense. You bring back a guy like Landon Sides and Miles Coleman and Thad Zarians here. How they kind of helped you kind of get into this role and learn this offense a little bit better?
Yeah, they help a ton for sure. Miles helps me a lot since he's more of a slot guy, and he's lined up on similar side of the field to me sometimes, and I look over to him and ask him if I have a question, like, he'll answer. Like, even though they're not older than me, they're still knowledgeable and they can still relay the message to me, and they help me out a lot. And yeah, Landon's definitely one of those guys that, where I first got here, he was one of my first friends, and we studied together, learned plays together. We come into the meeting rooms hella early together before lifts, and yeah, he's helped me a lot. So shout out Landon for sure.
And I'm a new quarterback this year, the last guy left. What's your impression of the guys you worked with under side?
Yeah, are you talking about the quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, like, Reese is a guy, he's he's shown it. Obviously at the FCS level, playing at Albany and going to Miami, he's probably got that the Power 4 experience of playing the best of the best and being under a great quarterback like Caleb Ward. Like, so I mean, it goes to show he comes out here in practice and the way he operates, and that shows every single day is he's able to be trusted out there. He's able to make plays, throw the ball on time, on target, and accurately. Same with Drew, and same with little Chris, who's making his way on. So, Chris is he's going to be really good for sure.
Yeah, Coach Davis said you guys are making strides and you're as a receiving group, and you guys head into your first scrimmage on Saturday. Is there anything you're looking forward to or wanting to kind of improve on? It's still early in spring.
Yeah.
Something you want to kind of improve on as yourself or as an offense itself?
As an offense itself, I mean, nothing short of just going out and doing our job and just scoring and playing fast. That's all Coach Morris teaches us, all Coach Davis teaches us, and just go out there and do our jobs, and the plays will come to us. That's all. I mean, that's been a thing throughout this entire camp that they've been saying for us. But for the most part, I think as far for me, and I'd say, I mean, most of the new guys that are coming in and learning this stuff, and I think just getting lined up quick, getting set quick, and as far as just learning the concepts, memorizing concepts, just getting repetitions at all those plays, and that's as much as like that is hard to learn. I think we all know like the wide receiver on this team can play, and if we get all that stuff down, then our wide receiver group is pretty good.
You think you guys have enough skill position talent, wide receiver, running back to make this offense continue to be what it has been over the course of the last couple of years?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see any type of drop off or anything with the group we have this year. We have pretty much every type of receiver. I mean, Landon and Simi can track the deep ball like no other. I mean, Miles, Coleman in the slot, and Wyatt, they're very smooth in the slot, can run routes, and I'm on the other side, and Kyle's on the side with me, and we're both route runners. So I think as far as the wide receiver group, there's no drop off, and the running back group, I don't know much about last year, but our running back group is pretty legit this year. So we got a lot of different running backs, a lot of different types. Running backs who can have power, and running backs who have speed and catch the ball. So I think as far as last year, I feel like, I mean, I wasn't here last year, but I feel like we got some dudes this year for sure that can make splits.
Okay, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but just kind of describing you as kind of a standout player so far. What do you think you've been able to kind of showcase, and how would you kind of describe your fit into this offense?
I think like my game is just I'm a pure route runner. I think what I can showcase and what I have been showcasing is creating separation off the line like the first thing is it's the most important thing as a receiver. You have to be pressed, have to be pressed. I think that's one of those things where I take pride in, and not only that, but also just high pointing the ball. Like I feel like a lot of plays are down the field, balls in the air. Like I'm gonna make the play, I'm gonna go out and jump for it. I don't care how I land. Like I'm gonna make the play. So I think those are a couple of things like that I can showcase my game out to in the scrimmage and games in the future and stuff. So.
All right, great. We'll get a little deeper into the spring practice here. So how's it go?
It's been good. The little thing really good. It's been there, right? Defense coming together, gelling together. Everything's been going really good. Can't wait to the spring game.
You've quite a few of your teammates coming on from St. Vincent to this defense. How have you guys been able to kind of help out some of these returning guys on this team from last year kind of fit in this game?
Just pretty much just going over the basic things, just going over just the little things that they have to know that turns into big things, and then working from there and then building on to the next harder things, but starting off slow for them and just so they can get the gist of everything and on where to go. And I like.
What led you to decide to follow the same Houston crew up?
I took some deep thought, but after the season with Sam, my head coach went to Temple, and I was like, Temple, it's cold out there. So and then my DC, then Coach Cassidy, he was like, I don't know yet. So we just pretty much just waiting him then. But he said he'll go come to Texas. I just looked up to Texas then, and there we followed him and we brought everything up here because it seemed like they needed a defense when we needed offense, and wait for it when they start out to work.
What about Coach Cassidy made you want to follow into North Texas?
man, because he got it. It's a simple defense. He could play fast, play physical. He changed a lot for my coming into my my junior year. For Sam, he changed a lot how to look at the game and things like that for me, and it's just easy and simple. And once you get everything going, it's just muscle memory at that point.
Yeah, how did you change your perspective?
It honestly, because the calls we get from him, it all goes together with something of some sort. So, but versus the other coaches we had, it was just like they was just pulling things from different areas, and we didn't have an identity. So, and they didn't really scheme. They didn't have their own scheme. So with Cassidy, he brought in like everything that, like, this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything that he threw at us, that's what was gonna be it. And it was gonna be nothing more, nothing less. It was gonna be simple football, play fast, play physical.
What's he like as a coach and a guy to play for?
Man, he real cool. Him and all his coaches that he brought, man, they know how to get on us real good, but they know how to play too, like play with us, you know, because they, like, some of them, they know, like, you know, they got kids and things like that, but you know, they know when they're serious, and they know whenever we can relax. But it's a great, like, dynamic. How he had things and how he had his coaches is just great all around.
You've been playing football for quite some time now. You're in one of your last years here at Texas. How do you feel like you can be a leader on this team going this season?
Man, just coming to work every day, going hard, trying to get the best out of all my guys in the linebacker group, defensive line, DBs. I just make sure I just try to make everybody be focused and on their P's and Q's whenever it's time, because when the bullets are flying, what you gonna do? Like, so my job is to get everybody on board and like have one goal and just try to be 11-1, 12-0. That's my goal. Try to be undefeated. We have that kid being that college player.
Then we were going to about how much of a comfort it is to come with a bunch of guys that you know.
It's great because it's not really a restart. You the guys that we brought were playing, so they know exactly how it should be ran and things like that. So whenever we bring those guys and then have their guys play with our guys, it just go like gel together, and they like see, oh, well, you did this, that, and third because you did that. Like, so like we just come here and just show the other guys how to run it and how to do everything and how everything is put together and structured. You know?
What are your thoughts on the linebacker room? And who's kind of stood out to you so far?
I say Shane, because he actually like he's good at like knowing like why the reasons why we have to do certain things. He's good at that, knowing the reason why he have to be like the quarterback player at certain times, or he have to be the fast flow with the top player at certain times. Like, just he picked it up pretty fast, and he's starting to get it, and he's getting the gist of it.
What's the confidence level among you guys that's going to be a solid defense after, last year was kind of trouble?
I wasn't here last year, so I don't know. But for the Sam guys, I can just say, we got to bring that same attitude we had from Sam over here, and we got to do it. We got to be gritty. We got to be gritty. Got to be all that. If we got to get down and dirty, we got to do it. And we got to bring those guys with us. So we can't do it on our own. It's got to be 11 guys out there that's helping out.
Well, that's what I was getting at. It's starting to gel here.
Yes, sir. It's starting to gel. Everybody's getting it. The DB's getting it. The linebackers, we're getting it. The E-line, they're getting it. So, yeah, we're gelling pretty good. Can't wait to Saturday. See y'all.
You've been able to go against this offense for some time now. So how have they kind of helped you guys out as a defense, kind of learn what you need to work on and straighten some skills that you guys have?
I like going against this offense. Every day I love going against this offense because it feels like we're going against Texas State again. So, like, They got their own nuances into like what schemes they like to do, but I love coming to practice every day and just seeing what Coach Morris want to draw up on us. Because he showed do know how to make us work.